You guys, this just came in from Instagram, and that's why I want to share it with you so that you understand this isn't just like stuff I say for shits and giggles. Like, I truly want you to apply what you learn from me to your life. But on Monday, excuse me, I posted a video that whatever you expect, you will experience. And I asked you if you're new to this, being intentional with your thoughts, directing them towards what you want to start small. Expect $5, expect a free cup of coffee. But listen to this testimonial. So, this guy just messaged me and he said, I watched your Monday mantra. Wanted to close a sales deal that I had gotten a verbal commitment but needed in writing. I put those thoughts and expectations into place, and literally 10 minutes later, I received in writing the commitment. I will keep trying, been trying to close this deal for months. So here's what I want to share about that. No, that's just a guy in sales being able to close deal. But look, I bet before he that's interesting curiosity, and he tried something new. If he'd been focusing for some time, oh, this deal won't close. I want this deal to close. Kind of like I see a lot on LinkedIn that, I've been applying to so many jobs and I'm not getting jobs and unemployment or I'm running out of money. Your focus, whatever you focus on, expands. So I love this testimonial. If you didn't catch that, here's what I want to share with you. Whatever you expect, you will experience. Whatever you focus on expands. So experiment with this. Try something like I offered. Expect $5. Expect a free lunch. Expect that deal to close, whatever it is for you. And then I want to hear from you when you put this into play. What did you expect and how did it come about? I love hearing your wins. All right. For those that are just joining, here's what I want to share with you today. I did a post last week that had a ton of engagement. So I decided, well, let's expand on that. I posted simply asking, do you know what you want in your life? And by far, the majority of people are like, no, I don't even want. I had a lot of DMs and side conversations, and I know what it's like to feel stuck. But if you don't stop, if you don't take the time to reflect, to be intentional, to ask yourself better questions, how will you ever get there? You won't. So here's what I want to offer you to start. Number one, it's a totally free resource. It's directly on my website. I wanted to share it with you. So it's what I call a life assessment. Again, this is a totally free resource. Let me show you where it's at. Um, I'll share my screen real quick. So if you go to my website, just heatherhakes.com, literally in the top menu bar, you can click right here on life assessment, or you can scroll down on the homepage right under ready for your transformation. And these are free. The life assessment right here, take the life assessment, totally free resource. So I just want to offer you there. That's somewhere to start. And so let me explain what this life assessment is all about. Number one, I ask you to rank from a 1 to a 10 how satisfied you are with different areas of your life, such as your finances, mental health, that's a big one. Your relationships, most people are miserable in their job. Been there, done that. I get it. But I want you to think of these different life buckets as spokes on a wheel. You can see and understand that if one area of life is off, you're stressed out about finances. Um, you hate going to work. Your relationships are miserable. It creates a bumpy ride. And when one area of life is off, it affects all of them. So again, that's a totally free resource. But number one, it helps you create clarity because maybe you don't even know where you're feeling stuck, what life bucket it is. So again, just free resource on my website, take the life assessment. So now I want to share with you my experience when I've seen lots of these life assessments come through. I mean, we're talking like a few hundred of them. And what I want you to know is that if you are feeling stuck and miserable in life, you are not alone. And here's what I want to share with you. It's kind of like a general and average of what I see come across. So what I'm sharing with you right here in this visual, again, if you're listening to the podcast, I invite you to check this out on my YouTube channel if you're visual like me. But here's what I want to share with you. That technically you have the potential. So these pink bars in this bar graph, you potentially could be inflow in every area of your life. If you wouldn't change a thing, you would rank these all a 10. But I'm showing you generally on average. So I've seen much worse than this, and I've seen a little bit better. But generally, people rank that from a scale of 1 to 10, their mental health, that internal dialogue, I call it the monkey mind, that internal tug of war. Generally, people rank it a 5. So, can you see that you're like 50% satisfied in your mental health? And as a mindset coach, what I really teach is understanding the mind is the cause of every effect in your life. So, if you're sitting here and you rank your mental health a 5, that's a really, really bumpy ride. Again, this is an average. I've seen it much lower, and I've seen people maybe a 6 or 7 if you're being honest with yourself. And that's okay. Like, the whole point of this is you have to get clear on where you are and then where you want to be. And I help bridge that gap. So, the second area of life, this one, I tend to see like pretty miserable. And look, we know the divorce rate's like 50%, right? So, most people rank, I believe this was it a 1? It might have been a 1. Romantic relationships. So these are people who are in one and miserable, or maybe so lonely that they want to be in one. And you can see that if you're missing love and connection and happiness in your relationships, that's a huge bump on that life wheel. Remember, think about the spokes. Next up, work and career. And this one's so important because we spend so much time at work, right? Not only are you commuting, if you get to work from home, yay for you. But if you're commuting and you're spending 40, 50 plus hours a week, most people, again, ranked their happiness at work a 5. So I want to check in real quick for those that are watching live. I'd love to hear some comments. Is this resonating? Is this kind of where would you rank yourself in these same life buckets at those levels? 5 in your mental health, 5 at work. I've seen it much lower than that. Pretty standard. Again, those that are watching live, I'd love to hear from you in the chat. If not, we will go on and I'll check back in. All right, so let's move on. The next major life bucket is money, right? I think most people would agree that they want more, and money was ranked a 4. So think about that. Most people are going through life with very negative mindsets around money, lack scarcity limitation. The average here ranking was a 4. So if you're only 40% satisfied financially, and look, I know there's a lot of stress, a lot of pressure right now, inflation, the fear around a recession and all those things. But the key here, if we go to that mental health piece, is you have to focus on what you can control. And that's your internal state of being. So again, money was ranked a 4. And then the fifth one I included here was social life hobbies, because if you're not out enjoying life and having fun, again, most people on average ranked this a 5. So, like, okay, in this example, let's pretend this was an individual. So, life is subpar at best, totally stressed out in finances, not happy at work and career, mental chaos, relationships suck, and you're not having a lot of fun. I get it because I've been there. I am not making fun of this at all. I'm just trying to shed light and bring clarity that if you are here, I get it because I've been there, going through life's motions, stuck on a rut, on that hamster wheel. I would hit snooze 3 times every morning, rush in traffic to get to work, hate my job. I literally dreaded Monday. I cheered on Friday, week in and week out. And I know that's where a lot of people are at, living life in autopilot. And I just want you to know that you have to make a conscious choice that you want more. And then where I would come in is helping you build that mindset muscle, better mental health, better habits. And I'm telling you, you can change all of this. So here's what let me check back in real quick. All right, we have some comments. Ray is saying a lot of this sounds similar. Work for me is definitely lower than a 5. Yeah, Ray. But Ray, I'm so glad. I know you've joined Unlimited, so I'm going to see you live shortly. For any of those who don't know what I'm talking about, Unlimited is my new membership community I've created. I will go live every single Wednesday, whether you catch it live or watch the replay. I made it a super affordable place to get started in creating change. Cecil, you ranked a 7. What area of life did you rank a 7? Or were you saying sort of across the board you're feeling 7s? Todd mentioned definitely in the range of the levels you mentioned. Yeah, so like just getting by. And thank you for sharing because you're not alone. Like I see this come across a lot. There's a lot of struggle, a lot of suffering, and it doesn't have to be that way. Joao is saying a 7. I'm assuming, what area of life? Or are you kind of saying across the board? All right, here's what I want to show you. Across the board, Cecil. Thank you for sharing. Okay, so sevens aren't bad, right? So sevens is kind of like life isn't phenomenal and it's not miserable, but you kind of plateaued into like this'll do, right? Is that a way of living? Do you want to look back 5, 10 years from now and be like, well, I mean, it wasn't horrible. I just want you to know that you truly can have an extraordinary life. You don't have to settle for mediocrity or like I often refer to as the status quo. Like that doesn't have to be your life. All right, so here's what I want to show you. In this life assessment average, I'm giving you a real life example. This was one of my coaching clients. And every single coaching client, when I have them come in, we do this life assessment because I want to know where people are starting, what area of life is really creating that stress, the dysfunction, dissatisfaction. So I can pinpoint that because I know when we go all in on that one, it's going to affect in a good way all of them. So as an example, this coaching client, he ranked he's a former athlete, he's an entrepreneur, business owner. So he already had that kind of morning routine going. So he ranked his health an 8. And also, let me be honest with you, I think a lot of people come in and rank these higher than the reality because once I get people on a phone and we get talking, they're like, well, I ranked it a 6, but I'd actually say it's a 4. So when you take that life assessment, just be honest. There's no judgment here, but you got to be honest where you're at so you can get to where you want to be. So anyway, he ranked health an 8. His mental health, that's where he was really struggling, a 5. Productivity, he gave it a 6. Happiness at work, he was kind of on the fence. Am I ready to sell? I want something new. He ranked it a 5. Money was a big stressor for him, a 4. And finally, hobbies. He wasn't getting out, enjoying life, and he ranked it a 3. And here's what I want to share you. I don't believe knowledge alone is power. I believe applied knowledge is power, experience is power. So that's why everything I teach when I come on and I do these presentations, number 1, I want you to have just one takeaway. One thing you're going to implement, one thing you're going to apply to your life. Just like that testimonial I got this morning. That guy took me seriously, that whatever you expect, you will experience. And he said literally 10 minutes later, he got exactly what he desired because he expected it. So after 6 calls with this specific coaching client, he increased his that mental mindset, the monkey mind, 30%. Like that's a big leap. 20% more productive because he had clarity, he had focus, he had that blueprint. 20% better financially, and he had 3 huge wins in a week. That was super fun. I'll go into money mindset on another training. And finally, this one's huge. I think this one is so big. 40% happier and enjoying life more because he got back into carving out time to have fun, to do the hobbies he enjoys. That I believe self-care is necessary, not selfish. So again, I want you to, because that question I asked last week, do you even know what you want in life? If you don't know where you're starting, how will you ever get there? And again, this is a free resource on my website, heatherhakes.com, to take the life assessment. Now, what I would love to do is open it up for live Q&A. If this is resonating, if you're feeling stuck, again, whether you're watching live or the replay, comment below because I can come back in and have conversations with you, or we can take it off and have side convos. But one, like if we have the people that are listening and watching live, like kind of sevens across the board, what would your life be like? Even nines across the board, tens across the board? Because whatever you expect is possible for you, you will experience. This is not about being delusional. This is truly understanding that whatever you believe, you will experience. If you believe you have to struggle and effort, that you have to hustle and grind to get ahead, that will be your experience. I've been there, and I've also now in a place of, I have my morning rituals. I'm very dedicated to my mindset and being intentional and focus and clarity and that next thing. But I've learned to get out of my own way, and you have to too. That's how you're going to bridge the gap from where you are in this stuck in a rut, going through life's motions, waiting for a weekend, waiting for a vacation, to truly living your life because that's what you're here for. So here's a question: how to balance expectation with illusion? Because there's no guarantee that you'll get what you expect. Well, that is a belief, but guess what? I would agree there's no guarantee because it could actually be better. So that's something that I write out and I teach my coaching clients. Like, I think it's great to get clear on a desire. Let's do money because that's easy. And I put people through money experiments, great outcomes. Again, I'll share that another day. But as an example, if you are clear that you want to manifest 10 grand, you want to close this business deal that's $10,000. I always end it with this mantra at the bottom: it's this or something even better. Like, don't limit yourself that it has to be like this. Romantic relationships are a big kink in a lot of people's lives. So for those that are single and out there dating, trust me, it's not that fun, right? But if I expect it to not be fun, that's what I'm going to get. So I'm again training myself that dating is fun. I love meeting new people. I love getting out and about and trying new restaurants and whatever. But as Patrick said, there's no guarantee that you'll get what you expect. What if it's even better? Just live in a state of curiosity. Just be open to things going better than you planned. Like this that guy that got a sales deal, what if that turns into a referral or another one? Or, I don't know where you're currently at, where you're feeling stuck, Patrick. If you want to give me an example, um, I'd love to help and walk you through that. Again, while we're on live, are there any other questions relating to the life assessment, understanding these life buckets, kind of ranking where you are, getting clarity on where you want to be, and how you bridge that gap? Comment below. I want to see what's resonating so I can be sure to bring on more content that is in line and helps you get from where you are to where you want to be, to get unstuck, to get out of your own way. Because here's what I want to remind you of. We'll end on this note. Life is literally a self-fulfilling prophecy because whatever you put out, whatever you think about expands and you will get that. Again, thank you so much.